Gorgona sloths are unique. The island used to be attached to the mainland. At the end of the last ice age, sea levels rose and cut it off, leaving the sloths behind. They have been isolated from mainland Colombia for so long, they have become a distinct subspecies. Just like the convicts, they are now marooned prisoners, cut off from the outside world. After the heavy rain, the sloth hangs himself out to dry. In most mammals, hair parts along the spine and flows down the back to the belly. But because of his upside-down life in the trees, the sloth's fur grows the other way, belly to back, allowing him to drip dry. He's in no rush and might hang here for hours. The leaves of the rainforest don't offer great nutrition, but he gets by thanks to a slow metabolism. And to save energy, he spends a lot of time just hanging around. He keeps still for so long that his fur has developed its own mini ecosystem. Algae is the first organism to colonize his hollow hair follicles. The simple single-celled organisms give his fur a greenish tinge. Perfect camouflage in the canopy. The algae promote the growth of a fungus that has scientists excited. For sloths, the fungus seems to inhibit infections and keeps parasites at bay. For humans, scientists think it may have disease and even cancer-resistant properties. The algae also feeds a species of moth unique to the sloth. When the sloth climbs to the ground to defecate, the moth lays its eggs on the droppings. Their larvae then feed on the dung. Every member of this community benefits the other. The moths fertilize the sloth's fur with their nutrient-rich droppings. That in turn encourages more algae to grow, which helps to protect the sloth through camouflage. It's an amazing self-contained ecosystem, all on the sloth's back. As the sloth and his lodgers dry out, other forest dwellers are making the most of the moisture. It rains all year round on the island. But the heavy downpours of the rainy season trigger a male marbled poison frog to spring into action. His mate is an absent mother. She laid her eggs directly onto the forest floor, then left them. Once the eggs hatch, it's Dad who does all the heavy lifting. Like all tadpoles, his offspring breathe through gills. They need water to survive, so it's down to the male to find them a more permanent pool. He piggybacks his tadpoles across the forest floor. A layer of sticky mucus makes sure his precious cargo is safe. The hunt for a suitable nursery is fraught with danger. Even tiny ants could make a meal of his tadpoles, so he needs to find somewhere secure. Eventually, he spots the ideal location: a prison sink. The bathrooms here were once a terrifying place. There were so many murderous attacks on the inmates, the bathroom walls had to be lowered to allow constant monitoring. Now the bathroom's a sanctuary, an old basin creating the perfect nursery for the young tadpoles. It's sheltered, secluded, and a breeding ground for the insect larvae the tadpoles can feed on. His precious load delivered, the male's parental contribution is done. Now his tadpoles must go it alone. As the skies clear, the warmth of the sun tempts other prison residents from their cells. Stingless bees. There could be up to 10,000 of them living in this cavity in the wall. Worker bees are strengthening the entrance. They use their jaws to pulp wood, using sticky saliva to cement it into place. The hive is their fortress, their honey store, and a nursery for their young. This is teamwork at its best. Every individual has a specific role. From bringing back pollen to construction, to taking out the trash. Because stingless bees don't pack the punch of their well-armed cousins, they need to be careful. Insects are low on the food chain. As the sun begins to set over the island, the bee's nemesis stirs. Little big-eared bats, nocturnal hunters. They use echolocation to home in on prey, their large ears picking up the returning echoes of their high-pitched squeaks. Like a security camera, they scan the room for signs of prey. They have a special fondness for crunchy food, especially beetles, crickets and cockroaches. They're not the only bats in the ruins, but there's no competition for food. The lesser long-tongued bats are their vegetarian cousins. At night, they visit flowers, lapping up pollen and nectar, and pollinating the forest's plants. Their tongue is half the length of their body, so long it permanently protrudes through a gap in their front teeth. It's 1.5 inches long, tipped with bristles to help gather up their sugary diet.
Hey Love Nature fans, be sure to like and subscribe to catch all our wild animal stories. Get closer to nature right here on YouTube.